Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. Hope you guys all had a happy holiday weekend. It's coming up for us because we record these a week in advance. My name is Cody Leach, and as always, I'm joined by my Latinx partner, Christian Garcia.
I don't do the Latinx thing because it's too much.
Because it's fucking stupid.
I'm not going to opine one way or another. I don't want any Latinx people to get mad. It's just hard. It's just difficult to change a whole language and culture and tradition.
Also, it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it? Latinx.
You'd have to change the whole language.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, yeah. The whole
it wouldn't be mesa table. It would just mess. Like that's which is month. Like I don't know. I don't know the whole. Like,
I feel like you would just change L in law to something stupid like Zoe with an X and an O.
But I don't know.
And then the words are the same, so you don't have to relearn everything. You just don't use L or law.
I guess I'm giving away my position by the slight opinions I'm giving. But, like, I will say this. I don't know anyone who was born in a Latin American country that cares about that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Chicanos or people born here
I just saw,
that care.
The whole reason that I bring it up is I saw a little news article saying that only 2% of Latinx people like being called Latinx. The predominant one was Hispanic, which I thought was interesting. I would have thought Latin or Latino would.
Latino.
I think that sounds cooler.
Latino means you're from a Latin American country. Hispanic means you speak Spanish.
Of Spanish descent.
Or you
whatever.
speak Spanish.
Yeah.
It's different. Like, you can be from Spain and Hispanic, but Spanish people can't be Latino.
Yeah.
Basically.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah. They're all Latin languages.
We all have flavorful food.
Yep.
Dance well, other than me.
Whether you're Latinx or Hispanic, we hope you had a great holiday. Thank you guys for tuning in every week. You can check us out on all the social medias at Nerds with Friend. Or you can become a patron of the show at patreon.com/Nerds with Friends. Really helps us out if you support the show. You can also just click like and subscribe down at the bottom if you're watching on YouTube. Likes are free, subscribes are free, so we do appreciate that.
Hit the like button, make it turn into like a jizz, like three little things.
Yep.
Just make it come.
Exactly. Just make us come. Make us come, please.
Tell
wow.
your moms,
definitely not going to get monetized on YouTube for that one.
It's fine. Tell your grandpas.
Yeah.
Tell your pastors. If you have multiple personalities, have each personality listen to the episode just multiple times.
Yeah. Right wingers, left wingers. We try to please everybody.
Middle wingers.
Middle wingers. Yep. Exactly. Today we are going to be talking heavily about SpiderMan No Way Home. Oh my God. We'll give you the spoiler warnings when we're going to start talking spoilers. But we'll give you our spoiler-free review beforehand, and we'll warn you. We're also going to be talking about Hawkeye. Last week, the season finale aired, so we're going to be delving into some spoilers for that too. Again, we'll give you a review overall, and then we'll hit you with the spoiler warning, so you know when to pause or go, pause the podcast, come back later if you need to. Before we do that, I guess we also have Christmas presents for each other.
Yeah.
So we could do that in lieu of nerdy confessions this week. We like to give each other gifts every once in a while.
All right, you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. This is definitely going to be better for the YouTubers. So if you are one of our audio listeners, maybe check out the old YouTube channel this week because, it always works a little bit better when you actually see what we open up.
Fuck, I hope I took the price tags off.
Oh my goodness.
This was a gamble. I really wanted to get him something like this, but it's like this guy just buys everything. So I was trying to look for the most obscure, and then I was trying to remember what have he's not shown me.
Oh yeah. So these are Necron Tomb Blades. Here, nice close up. So these are some Warhammer 40,000 models. I do not have these.
Good. And
I do have some Necron guys, so this will go good with my Necron army. God, these guys are sick looking. They look kind of like the destroyer droids almost from.
Oh yeah, with the curve.
The little roly pod ones. except there's actually like little dudes in there. And do these fly? They look like they fly.
I almost got like some big ones that looked almost like dragons, and then I was like, I don't know if this goes with anything he has. And then I was like, I would like to see him paint it. I was like, but I figured I'd go for something. And I remember you using the neon colors. Like, he probably has some of those guys.
Yeah,
I don't know enough of the lore other than what he tells me. So
Necrons are basically they're kind of like Egyptian space terminators almost. So they
the Skynet of space.
They had basically they're robots, and they didn't start off as robots. They started off as a normal human race, but they wanted immortality. So they like found some other beings who like granted them immortality, but to do so, they basically uploaded their consciousnesses into robot bodies.
So what we're heading towards?
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
as humans.
The Facebook metaverse. That's basically what the Necrons are. And so they basically conquered the whole universe. And so they're like, they got bored and they're like, peace out. We're going to go to sleep for a little while. They went to sleep for like thousands and thousands of years.
They're like, we want more civilizations to come up so we can conquer some
Yeah, exactly.
shit.
We're going to take a little nap ski because we're bored of being immortal. And now they're waking up again and trying to dominate the galaxy again. So pretty cool. But yeah, I do love me some Necrons. Thank you. That was really cool.
Nice.
Should I do the second one too?
Sure.
Oh my God.
I did all that wrapping.
It does look really nice.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh,
That was the missus.
Sabrina did it. Yeah.
There's no way I could have done it. You could tell if I had done it.
Yeah. Well, you'll notice the one I got for you is in a fucking bag because I'm the
That's
laziest.
how men do it.
That's yeah.
If it was me, it would have
literally
been newspaper.
on my way out the house, I'm like, oh fuck, and then I grabbed the bag and just like crammed the things in there. Okay, so let's get some tape on here.
I thought I took that off.
This looks fragile, maybe Italian.
I think on the other side the tape would be easier.
Oh, is it? No, definitely not. This is the way to do it. This is happening.
It's great audio content for listeners.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, audio listeners. What the fuck? Is this the Holy Grail?
Yes, it is. I was gonna be mad if you didn't know what it was.
from the Last Crusade?
Fuck yeah.
That's fucking awesome. You have chosen wisely.
You know, for a second I was like, oh my God, if he doesn't know what it is, claiming that's one of his favorite movies.
Dude, this is sick. It like one thing that I remember about that too is when they pour the water in it, it looks so good because it's like a cold like bottom. That's tight.
What I liked is that it's got good weight to it.
It does, for sure. That's really cool.
So on the way home, if you're getting robbed.
Yeah, just fucking
Holy Grail.
brain someone. Yeah, it looks awesome. Is that like an Etsy thing that you found it? Or is
Nope.
it like,
I'm not going to tell you where I found it.
it looks cool. looks very official.
I saw a couple of them. I was like, I think this one looks the best one.
Yeah, that's sick. That is one of my favorite ones. I think that might be my favorite Indiana Jones. I don't know. Raiders of the Lost Ark is very good too.
Moving forward, all his drinks he's going to be drinking out of that.
Exactly. I pour my Diet Pepsi into it. All right, man. You can get yours.
Yeah. Ugh.
Thank you very much for those. Those are very, very cool. I've gotten so many miniatures this holiday. I'm going to be painting for a while.
Oh, shit.
So it's three different ones.
Oh, nice.
So those are all what we call age 2 of the Mistborn.
Oh, nice.
Era 2.
This is not how I pictured them having, like, guns and stuff.
Yeah, so basically, it's by Brandon Sanderson. It's the sequel series to Mistborn. So this takes place like 100 years or 120 years
All
or
right,
something.
tell me the order so I can put them in order so that way I don't fuck them up.
I believe it's Alloy of Law, then Shadow of Self, then Bands of Mourning,
Okay.
I believe.
I don't want to do them wrong.
It should say somewhere in there, like in the front page or something.
Yeah, I don't want to start it and like I'm like in the last book and I'm like halfway through.
Who
I'm like,
are all these people,
Yeah.
and why do they seem like they all know each other?
Which honestly wouldn't be that much of a surprise by the way Sanderson writes. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, he does that a lot. So
he kind of does. He kind of waits for you to like pick everything up on your own.
yeah, that's why I could easily be halfway through the last book and then realize, fuck, I'm on the wrong
Yeah,
one.
it probably says in the beginning, like in the title pages or something. It'll say like book 1, book 2, or something. I don't know.
It does not.
Well,
I think so.
quick Google will set you right if you mix them up.
I got time to read too.
Yeah. One thing that's cool about those, because I just recently reread them, and after having like read the first one and then rereading those ones after I kind of know what's going on and stuff, and having read the Stormlight Archive, I'm like, oh shit is going down. So there's some like crazy stuff that's happening in those ones, which is pretty awesome.
And he's definitely a storyteller where like if you listen to it twice, you catch stuff that you didn't catch the first time. Yes,
100%. Which is why I'm rereading like the Wheel of Time right now too, which is the same sort of thing. Are you watching the Wheel of Time?
Yes.
The show?
I think 2 episodes behind.
Yeah, season finale is tomorrow night, I believe.
Well, then tomorrow night we can finish it because the missus doesn't like watching stuff until it's done.
Until it's all done.
Until it's all done. So I tricked her into watching like the first 4 episodes because I didn't say trick. I lied. I knew it wasn't finished.
Falsified information.
Well, I don't know if it's lying because she didn't ask me if it was finished. I just started playing it.
You just omitted information. It was a lie of omission. I like it.
So we got up to 4, and she's like, the next one. I'm like, there isn't a next one.
Maybe next week we can watch the next one.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
It's 6 o'clock. Yeah, no.
I just long day. Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much for my gifts. They are awesome. I can't wait to put together these Robo Boys. Paint them. I do like painting Necrons. I was just thinking about that the other day.
Look at that. Red is fucking mine.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick little break, and then when we come back, we are going to be talking about Hawkeye and SpiderMan No Way Home. So we'll be right back. And we're back.
That didn't really work. I was like, maybe I can wear this on my head and it poked my eye. Probably have glitter now.
Yeah, probably gonna. There's gonna be glitter everywhere.
Go home,
I can
look like
see some on my hands.
Go home, look like I went down on a stripper or something.
Hey, that sounds like a fun
glitter
time.
in your eye is good for your eyes, right?
That's how you get pink eye. We're going to be talking first about, I think, Hawkeye. That's probably the first thing to do because we can go on about Spider-Man for a while. So, spoiler-free review of Hawkeye. Overall, what are your thoughts on this series? Was it good? Was it bad? Do you think people should watch it?
I think people should watch it. It wasn't one of my favorite Marvel shows. It was trying to balance action with it was way too happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
For I feel like the subject matter that it was trying to tackle, and it was I don't know, maybe because I loved Daredevil so much where it's kind of hard to balance serious stuff and happy-go-lucky stuff. Not like the Marvel movies where I feel like they do a good of like there is action that feels like dire, and then there's still some laughable parts with this. I didn't feel it balanced too well.
Yeah, I'd say I could agree with that. And I'll talk a little bit more about it once we get into the spoiler section. But I think you're right. I think the balance between, having a serious subject matter and then having like joke. I think that hurt it a little bit.
Which jokes are fine.
They're fine, yeah.
It just felt like it was trying to be like a Christmas, like too much of a Christmas story, but not enough of, like it was trying to be a bad version of fucking Die Hard. It's kind of where like Die Hard did a great job where it was Christmas second.
Right, where serious stuff is happening, people are dying and stuff. But then you have John McClane like, kind of laughing at himself while he's like, his feet are bleeding because they have glass in them. You know what I mean?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother Frencher. If you watch it on like TBS on Christmas Day. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd say it's, it's fun. There's like, I'd say there's like 2 or 3 great action scenes in it. Lots of fun bow and arrow shooting. Though I will say, I wish there was more bow and arrow stuff in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think it was a little light on bows and or arrows.
I don't know if they wanted to spend too much money on the CGI. I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think the missed opportunity is like I feel like you can do a lot of that stuff pretty well with just good stuntman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You show him like shoot the arrow off into nothing, and then a stuntman just like grabbing an arrow stuck into him and doing a backflip. Like that kind of stuff would be fine.
Yep.
But overall, I think it was interesting. It was fun. I definitely don't think there's not a huge, tie into the MCU necessarily. I mean, like, we're not like changing the future of the MCU in ways like Loki did. But you know,
not like that. But I mean,
there's some interesting stuff.
I guess I was gonna say something, but when we start getting into spoilers,
Yeah.
so.
Well, let's do it right now. So overall, I'd say, you know, yes, watch it. I think that's the thing. You don't have to go out and like rush to do it, because, you know, you can still, like, you can see Spider-Man no problem without having seen this. You can see the Eternals without having seen this. Like, it doesn't really tie in to any future movies where you're like, oh, I have to watch Hawkeye before I go see, you know, whatever the next movie is. So you've got time. Take your time and watch it and enjoy it. I think it was, you know, a fun romp. Okay.
Yeah, was it? Well, yeah. But when we get into
All right, now full spoilers coming at you for Hawkeye. So if you have not seen it, you might want to pause this, watch 6 hours worth of Disney Plus content, and then come back. But here we go. Spoiler alert. Go, Christian.
So I did not like how. Well, I mean, I get that they're trying to write out Jeremy. Oh fuck, I forget his name.
Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
Yep.
I just kind of don't like the way they're doing it, where he's like, oh, he's getting beat up, or he's not, you know, I don't know, as good as he used to be. Like, he lost his hearing.
That does happen.
I mean, I'm sure because he is human, you know. So
right.
I don't know. Maybe I don't even know how I would do it differently, but I don't know. It felt a little weird.
It's one of those things where, you know, I think we're reaching one of those moments where the movies or, you know, live action shows or whatever you want to call it, has to diverge from the comics, because let's face it, these, you know, like, some of these comics have been going on for 50, 60 years, and the people in them are still the same age. You know what I mean? So actors, unfortunately, want to do other stuff, get old, you know, can't do backflips and stuff as easy as they used to. So it does make sense, and it is kind of a bummer. But I feel like, you know, they definitely showed that he still has it. You know, he can still, like, I felt like he carried the movie or the show enough by himself as, like, a, you know, solo starred movie. I feel like, you know, I was concerned about that. Like, oh, can Jeremy Renner do this all by himself? And yeah, I thought he was fine. And I thought Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop was excellent. You know, they had really good chemistry together. I don't know.
No, I liked her. She was very much like the kid who wants to be like the next superhero, where
right.
You got like the older father figure is like, nah, kid, you're not ready. Like, no,
Yeah.
that was cool.
And so we saw the introduction of Echo in this too, Maya, whatever her last name is, who I thought she was cool. Her fight scenes were pretty cool.
Maya Lopez.
And I feel like my only complaint about her is there really was, you know, a lot of face emotions. A lot of times she's just staring there and then just signing angrily. And maybe that's a thing because she is a deaf actress. Maybe that's a harder thing to convey. Maybe she does more of her emotions with her hands and stuff, and maybe that's something we just don't pick up on because we don't, you know, normally communicate that way.
No, and that you actually reminded me of another issue I had where,
it's pretty cool. She had a robot leg too.
It was robotic. It was metal, but
same thing.
No, she doesn't have electricity going through it.
Thinking about getting metal legs. It's a risky operation, but I think it's worth it.
What bugged me a little bit was that she was able to go toe to toe with Hawkeye, who is an Avenger, who fought aliens, who was doing like, you know, high government work for a long ass time.
Yeah,
and she was an MMA fighter. At least that's what the show told us. You know, like
right. The show didn't really talk about her actual powers.
Versus Kate Bishop, at least in the intro, we see from a child to her after college, you know, she's been training super hard.
She's been wanting to be like Hawkeye since she was a little girl.
Yeah, that I get. You know, she's been training because she wanted to be just like him, because she saw him, you know, fighting just as a human, you know, during the Battle of New York.
Yeah.
So that to me made sense. But
so they hint at it a little bit with Maya,
with child Maya,
because when she's doing her karate match, you see her looking at her opponent's feet and stuff.
Kumite. It's called Kumite, man.
Kumite?
It's not.
That's battle to the death. No, she see her looking at her opponent's feet when he's about to kick her or whatever, and that's part of her abilities is similar but different to Daredevil.
Same,
but different. But she can because she's deaf, she watches people's movements and can instantly telegraph they telegraph their attacks and stuff to her, so she can counter them and adopt her moves similar to how Taskmaster does it, almost not quite the same level, but that's supposed to be her ability.
And that's great if you didn't have to explain it to me if you didn't already know that. Versus when you're visually storytelling, you gotta.
Also, fun fact: she at one point she wore the Ronin costume in the comics too.
Yeah. Which I thought what the show was going to do.
Yeah, I thought it was leading up to that. I thought we were going to see her go off on her own as Ronin.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. To put on, well, we already hit the spoilers. Ronin, aka Hawkeye, had killed her dad because he was a mobster
working for the Kingpin.
Mm-hmm. So I thought it would have been interesting as her kind of like a Batman-like thing, like what she was afraid of as a kid. She adopts and later on to install fear, like it installed fear in her, which I thought what they were going to do, but they didn't. I
mean, it would make sense if at the end, because essentially she finds out Kingpin betrayed her dad and had him killed, and so it makes sense if she adopted the Ronin moniker and went around taking out, mob bosses, similar to how Ronin did it in the movies, to make sure that no one else had that kind of thing. It's like it makes sense thematically, but it was also kind of nice that Hawkeye had that closure of burning the suit at the end.
For sure.
What do you think of Kingpin being in it?
Okay, so I'll start off. Things I liked, things I didn't.
Sure. Did not like Hawaiian shirts.
He has it in the comics.
I mean, he does, but God, they look goofy.
It's comic accurate. That didn't bug me. So I'll start with what bugged me. So, Kingpin is this, mastermind mob boss who, for a long time, was just,
behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes, and people didn't know he was there. And Daredevil, the show, did a great job of having him do that. Mm-hmm. But in this, his minions were fucking morons. Don't get me wrong. I thought the, trust the bro truck guys were funny. Right. And they had a lot of funny. But that's Kingpin would not have a bunch of moronic minions going around doing stuff, which that part but, and that's where I think it had the trouble of the balancing. Where can we put jokes? Where does it make sense versus his minions were all throwaway garbage people, except for who in the beginning he was garbage and terrible.
Kaz.
Yeah, Kaz. You're right. Kazi.
So that's right. Kazi.
Where Hawkeye took him out multiple times, had even at one point snuck up on him, was basically threatened to kill him if he didn't do lure people where he wanted to lure him. And then in the final episode,
catches an arrow out of midair.
Yeah. He's like a ninja out of and I was like, okay, we get that at the end with no explanation versus the other times he was completely useless.
He's like, nice shot. He's like, duh.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I that was just weird to me. And again, it's balancing where it was had they showed him early on in the episodes, had he gone toe to toe with Hawkeye?
Yeah, if he didn't just get beat up like a bitch every single time.
Up until the end, where now I can catch arrows. I that was fucking weird to me.
I know, it was very strange. When I saw that as I was watching it by myself, I was like, what?
No, it was the same thing. I was like, wait,
so strange.
When did he learn that?
We also get another cameo in this one, Yelena, Black Widow's Natasha Romanoff's sister.
She was awesome. As she was in the fucking movie.
Her and Kate Bishop's or Katie Steinfeld's chemistry together was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
When in the last episode when they're fighting each other and she slaps her, she's like, "What was that?" Yeah. He's like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Well, you can tell. I think Kate Bishop's character has a crush on her. Yeah, and
or they just want to be best friends because they like each other.
Yeah,
they're both badass chicks who like fighting and stuff.
Maybe I definitely got the vibes of this hot girl makes me nervous and I don't know how to talk to her.
Yeah,
that's kind of the
that
vibes.
Could happen too. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the vibes I was getting. But
I'd watch that. I'd watch that movie.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then
I'd watch that parody on the internet. You know what I'm saying? If you catch my drift.
No, but Yelena's character was like, this tough, domineering, but also had a soft spot for her. She's like, I should have a reason to dislike you because you're working with the man who I think killed my sister. But she treated her like a little, like a little kid,
she had nothing against her. She had nothing against Kate Bishop. She just wanted to kill Clint Barton.
Yeah,
I really like that, and obviously, Yelena's has a kind of a hole in her heart for a sister figure. You know what I mean?
True.
And I think that that Kate's kind of filling that gap for her at the moment.
Yeah, and I love the part where Kate was like telling Yelena, stop saying things that makes me like you.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I can't help it. Yeah, she was great. Super fun.
But I do want to say, because we got off topic, the thing that bugged a lot of people, but it didn't bother me, was that how easily, quote unquote, easily Kate Bishop defeated Kingpin.
First of all, Mercedes had a real big part in taking out the Kingpin.
Well, number one. Number two, like they were saying, like, oh, Daredevil, who's this great martial artist, like had a hard time with him. I was like, well, so to me, as I was watching the show, he had zero respect for Kate Bishop, at all. Didn't even see her as a threat. He's just kind of like tossing her around, like pushing her. And then so like it was his hubris. Like he was like, oh, this bitch isn't even like close to me, like in the threat level. And so he didn't even think about the arrows on the ground where she like flicked it and knocked him away. Like to me, it was his hubris. He just didn't see her as a real threat. Like she's nothing fucking serious, and it was this hubris that defeated him. That's the way I took it.
And there's no way he could possibly they're arrows, so he doesn't know exactly what they all do and stuff. So it's harder to prepare for something like that.
And again,
he also got hit by a car
and an arrow
through a brick wall and an arrow
in the chest. But yeah, to me, it's like, dude, okay, like he didn't know who she was. He didn't give a shit once he saw, like, as he was fighting her, he's like, dude, this is fucking lightweight shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat up this little girl.
And it was that defeated him. Yeah. That didn't fucking bug me. But the internet and Twitter,
and I mean, he got up and walked away from it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And he's not fucking dead.
Yeah.
I know people were fucking upset.
People are like, oh, they killed him off. Like
no, he's not fucking dead.
You notice how the camera zoomed up? They didn't do that to maintain their Disney Plus rating system. They did that because they want to bring him back. You're not going to bring back Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin into the MCU for the scenes that they had him play in this show. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not. And also, we were talking off camera, but like in the comics, Echo does shoot Kingpin, and all he has is fucking eye patches on his eyes.
Yeah,
like,
he survives. He's a beast. He just flexes his bald head, and they deflect the bullets.
He's what, 98% muscle, 2% fat. He just has the muscle around his eyes, catch the bullet.
He just fucking blinked really hard and caught the bullets.
That's all he got to do. Fucking crushed it. Made it into a cuffling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so I totally called it, right? I totally called it.
Oh, yeah.
From like episode 2 or whatever that was. That was pretty sweet. And then we also get a little reveal at the end that, which I don't like. So the Rolex, yeah. So the Rolex is, an item that they keep talking about in the beginning where, they're trying to, it was found in the Avengers Tower or whatever. And they were trying to figure out who it was. Like, ooh, is it Stark Tech? Is it Pym Tech? We don't know. It turns out it was Hawkeye's wife's. You turn it on the back and it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. Rolex. And then it has the number 19. So she's Agent 19, who in the comic books is the superhero Mockingbird.
Which, that's fine. That's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. But what bugged me is like everyone wanted this watch and they made it seem like it was a big deal. Like it was Stark Tech or something.
Right.
Like if it was his
Why
glasses.
would they be looking for that watch of this S.H.I.E.L.D. agent?
Yeah, it just, that part, I was like, once that was revealed, I'm like, oh, okay.
And is Linda Cardellini going to come back and do a superhero show? I doubt it.
I'd be down.
I mean, maybe, but she was barely in this show.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Very weird. But that's that's supposed to, that's what that little teaser at the end was that Hawkeye's wife is Mockingbird or Agent 19 from S.H.I.E.L.D.
I also did enjoy.
It was cool. Like, I like that you saw her like coordinating a couple things with him while he's like on a mission. You're like, oh, she's not just a stay-at-home mom. She's actually a badass who's just fucking, she's pulling all the strings. She's the man in the chair or whatever, like Ned says in Spider-Man.
I did enjoy what they did with Jack, Kate Bishop's stepdad.
Ooh, the swordsman.
The swordsman.
I like that too.
That was cool. I knew
and the LARPers.
Yeah,
the LARPers
were funny.
At the end, he's like, sometimes you have to realize when someone makes you a better person, it just makes you better. And I mean, she knocked it out of the park with these suits. The elasticity, that was so good.
I do want to know who the little brat kid was that Jack was talking to, where he's like,
yeah, I don't know.
Remember when you peed in the Hamptons?
Everyone remembers.
Because I feel like if it was just that one part, it would have been fine. But then one of the firemen is carrying him out, and like the kid's complaining. He's, do you know who I am? And he's like, well, you're being a fucking brat or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like he's something bigger than, I don't know. Maybe he's a different character. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I will have to rewatch and pay closer attention because I think he came up earlier at one of the parties or something too. In like
but the old switcheroo where we thought Jack was the villain and Mom was the good guy, and it was the other way around.
Yeah, never trust women. That's what I learned.
That's what Marvel teaches us.
That's what the MCU is teaching us. I love that. I realize that's a stupid. Most people who make that point are stupid, but it's a funny saying. The MCU.
There'll be a recall to that later.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, check out Hawkeye streaming now. All the episodes are out now. Let us know what you thought of it. But now let's talk about something I'm really excited for, Christian. And again, we'll do spoiler-free review of Spider-Man No Way Home, but we'll tell you when the spoilers are going to start. So overall, you're probably the resident Spider-Man fan. I like Spider-Man too, but I know he's one of your favorites.
He's my favorite.
Yeah.
I guess I can't go into detail until we go to spoilers.
No, yeah, just did you like it? Is it worth seeing?
I had high expectations and it surpassed it. It was great. Usually I have like some critiques or comments about like a movie even when I really like it. I honestly I was trying to think. I don't know if I can have like some critiques of how it could have been better. It was fucking great.
It was awesome.
Awesome.
Definitely the best Marvel movie of the year. Maybe the best Marvel movie. I think it might be my favorite Spider-Man movie now. Spider-Man 2 was very, very good. Like the original Tobey Maguire one. But this one and the first one for that matter, I like both of them. But this one it's like the Avengers Endgame to the Spider-Man movies series. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, a lot of it is fan service for sure, but like that's okay because that's like.
Well, I mean, fan service is great when it's done well. And
it's done well, yeah.
Done super well.
It's not. It wasn't done hokey. Everything was awesome. Like the story was amazing, and yeah, you should absolutely go see it. It's already broken box office records and stuff. I think it's the third biggest movie release of all time. For the release weekend. Talking
about balance of like drama and dramatic and humor, that one did it perfectly.
It extremely well,
super well. There was parts where I was like, God damn it, I don't want to cry because Cody's sitting next to me.
Yeah,
but because he'll fucking make fun of me
for sure.
Oh, had I known, I would have fucking teared with him. But it did a great job of balancing the jokes with the drama and the sadness. It was fucking awesome.
Absolutely. All right, well, we have to talk spoilers. So spoiler alert, guys. Here they come. We're going to be talking Spider-Man No Way Home spoilers starting right now. If you haven't seen it, pause now and go see it and then come back right now. Okay, cool. So everything we heard about this movie was true. Andrew Garfield.
Yep.
Tobey Maguire.
Yep.
William Dafoe.
Yep.
Jamie Foxx.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Yep.
Or we should say as Matt Murdock.
I mean, he did the brick.
Yeah. And so, like, everything was in it. And I was worried leading up to it that, like, how are they going to balance having all these people in it? We're not, I was like, we're probably only going to see Toby and Andrew Garfield at the end for, like, 5 minutes. They were a big part of the third act. Yep. I mean, they were, like, they were in the movie for quite some time.
And my concern of, like, with so many, big names, so many characters, how are they going to share the screen time with each other where it's not heavy one person? And it wasn't. Like
it worked so well.
Everyone had a part and a piece, and it played out well. Like
even amongst the villains, like the Lizard and Sandman, and even Electro didn't have much to do in the movie. It was a lot of Doc Ock and Green Goblin, which I was fine with because those guys are the best actors.
Yep.
You know?
Well, Jamie Foxx has won a lot of shit, but
I mean, he wasn't playing anybody in this movie. He was just being Jamie Foxx.
I guess
it's just Jamie Foxx. Okay, you're Jamie Foxx, but you're obsessed with electricity and go. Okay, but like, you know, especially William Dafoe. I mean, God, he stole every scene he was in. Oh, so good.
I want more Green Goblin.
Also, I love a lot of people like. I saw people on the internet complaining about this, but I love that they put in, you know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Oh, dude, because it's a big meme.
Oh,
and like,
it's so good. And it fit the moment.
It fit perfectly. And why wouldn't he say it? He said it before in other movies. Like, it was a great fucking line. No, fuck so everyone who said that they didn't like it.
Yeah, so funny. So essentially, like, we were pretty close with our assumptions on how they got in there. But it was everyone who supposedly knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man got drawn into our universe from the messed up spell that Doctor Strange was doing to make everyone forget.
I actually enjoyed how the spell went wrong. That was also another worry of mine, in particular because they were hinting at it in the trailers where, you know, as he's middle of casting the spell, which would have worked perfectly fine if Peter wasn't like, well, no, I don't want MJ to forget. No, wait, I don't want Ned to forget.
I will say, let me say this, though. It's a little irresponsible of Doctor Strange. Like, you're just going to erase everyone's memory without any questions or caveats.
Nah.
You're going to be like, okay, Peter, like, anyone you want to, like, actually remember you, like, friends and family, that sort of thing. Me, maybe, in case shit goes wrong, you know? No, he's just like, all right, let's go do it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you want to change shit? Now you want to change it? It's like, come on, man. You're about to change the entire universe.
I kick it back to my go-to answer with when anyone complains about Doctor Strange. You know how much shit Doctor Strange has to worry about?
Yeah.
He's the sole guardian.
Well, he's not. Wong is now.
Well, that's true, but
Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme. That was kind of a shocker in this one.
That was, but, you know, Wong is off, you know, doing Sorcerer Supreme stuff.
He was like, this is not my problem. You guys take care of this. I'll see you later.
Yeah, he's like, just do
I have to go fight the Abomination in Shang-Chi.
We don't know if that's what he went to go do, but that makes you wonder as the fucking, you know, Sorcerer Supreme, why are you dealing with a fucking, you know,
why are you in a cage match
with fucking Abomination?
Very strange. So I thought it was kind of interesting. One thing, though, that's kind of wrong is that Jamie Foxx Electro did not know Spider-Man was Peter Parker.
In the movies?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Like, even in this movie, he's like, I thought you were black.
Oh, that's true.
And it was like, oh, so you didn't know? Why are you here?
That's a great point. That's a
kind of
great
interesting
fucking point, Cody.
Maybe
anyone who knew. No, because
maybe
he said Peter Parker, not Spider-Man.
Maybe it was like their relationship to Spider-Man drew them in cosmically or something.
Damn it, Cody! It's a great fucking point to think about. Now we found something they could have fixed.
I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, it's a minor thing, but
it's very minor.
You know, like
very minor.
Who cares?
Love the chemistry between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Yes. It was great. I want to see those two in another movie. Probably won't, but at least in more cameos and stuff.
Ooh,
but
how'd you like when Peter Parker's in his astral form? And his body still dodges.
It was the Spidey sense.
That
was fucking.
That was a cool way of showing it.
That was it was awesome. You know, where he couldn't catch it, and he says you shouldn't be able to do this. He's like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Like that was great. Also, I have to rewatch, which I'm gonna obviously rewatch it, but I didn't notice. But I guess they did the comic little vibration lines around his head with the Spidey sense. I didn't catch it, but I guess. When he's having his what they call here, it's not spider sense, it's Peter Tingle.
Yeah.
When he has it, when the Green Goblin, I guess at that moment he was Norman Osborn, where he senses something's gonna happen, and I guess there was a vibrational lines around his head where they finally showed a visualization of what it, you know, I guess
they always do that thing where it's like a lens technique on the camera where they like zoom in on his face but also pull the camera back, which makes the background like fade away kind of thing. They always did that, and that's enough for me to understand, oh, Spidey sense is tingling. I get it, you know.
But yeah, I mean, I know we already mentioned William Dafoe, but like having him being like the top villain again was great.
It was so good.
Like he was pretending that like he didn't want to be the Green Goblin anymore. Like, he was back to being Norman Osborn, and he was trying to get it fixed. But at the whole time, the way I took it, because I guess it's debatable.
Right.
For me, I feel that it was Norman Osborn in the front, but the Green Goblin in the back. Like, okay, let me see what information I can gather, glean, and see how I could use it to my advantage later.
Right.
And and then
it's hard to tell if he's really got like that dual personality where like sometimes Norman's in control, sometimes the Goblin's in control, or is the Goblin always in the background pulling the strings? It's very hard to tell because he's such a good actor.
Yeah.
And he can turn it on at the drop of a hat kind of thing.
Now, I will say I did for half a second get scared where the Green Goblin, or Norman Osborn was pretending to make a cure for the Goblin. But in reality, he was making another serum to make him stronger. And that's where I got a little freaked out because Aunt May at one point had it. I was like, yo, if they have her take the serum, I'm going to be fucking pissed. And I thought for a second she was going to do it to save Peter.
Yeah.
And that would have been really bad. I'm glad they didn't fucking do it.
But
the fight scenes are great. The fight scenes between the Goblin and Tom Holland's Spider-Man was fucking awesome.
One thing that was really cool is in this movie, there's a lot of callbacks to the previous movies, but not callbacks in the sense where it's like, hey, remember when this happened, or hey, remember this and that. They were subtle enough, like visual cues, where like Peter's running to get the pumpkin bomb.
Yep,
is the same scene from Spider-Man 1 where he reaches out and grabs it and it blows up in his face. It's the same exact scene in this one. And then we had a scene towards the end, which one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
Which Cody called was going to happen.
I fucking called it. Go back and listen to those episodes when we review the Spider-Man trailers. But where Andrew Garfield saves MJ because our Tom Holland Peter Parker was diving after her, falling off the Statue of Liberty and couldn't get to her. Tom Holland swings in, saves her, and you can see he even he focuses more on like grabbing her rather than webbing her like he did in the movie
and snapping someone's back.
Yeah, and at the end he lands on the ground. He's like, "Are you okay?" And he kind of lets out like a sob.
No, he didn't sob. He was crying.
Yeah, he was like super upset, and that was like a redemption for him.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Also, we see Tobey Maguire Spider-Man stopping Peter or Tom Holland. It gets very confusing talking about all the Peters in this. We see Tobey Maguire stop Tom Holland from impaling the Goblin with the glider, which again calls back to his movie, where that was one of his big regrets, is that he didn't save Norman Osborn. Well, he let himself get impaled by his own thing.
See, I'm wondering, it could have been that. I agree, it could have been that. I thought it was more of like the thief that shot Uncle Ben.
Sure.
He let him die.
Right.
He let him fall off that building and he died.
Well, it was the same thing with the glider. You know what I mean? I mean, he knew it was coming, so he jumped out of the way and it killed Norman Osborn. And he didn't want Norman Osborn dead.
Yeah.
So it was kind of both of those tied together, I think. So it's very cool seeing some of those in the callbacks to the original movies, which I thought was very tastefully done.
Oh, and
there are other movies that don't do it as well, including one that just came out today, The Matrix. But it's fine.
It's fine. I haven't seen it, so we're not going to talk about it.
We'll talk about it some other time.
I did love that they addressed the first Spider-Man's like not making his own web,
right?
But
the
internal web, where they see him shoot, like, whoa, how did you do that? And
yeah.
Like, like that. It's like,
ooh. Does it come out of anywhere else?
Yeah, like the joke. And it's all stuff that, of course, we thought or have joked about, but they did it in the movie.
And then later on, like, I think Tom Holland gets webbed.
I'm not sure if it was Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland.
Him, or it was too many Spider-Men flying around.
But one of them get hit by, and he's like,
ugh, gross. So good. And then probably the biggest shocker, I would say, I guess. Not the shocker himself.
No. He wasn't in it.
He wasn't in it. But Aunt May dies, gets killed by the Green Goblin. And before she dies, she gives the famous Spider-Man line, "With great power, there must also come great responsibility." Yep. The actual comic accurate line. Look it up. But, with great power comes great responsibility is the line from the original Tobey Maguire one, and she's the one who utters it in this universe, and then she dies, and then that sends Peter into kind of a downward spiral, and the other two Peters are there to kind of pull him out.
Yeah, that was dope because they had gone through their ordeals. They knew exactly what he was going through, and it was kind of cool that like instead of, which makes sense. I mean, he's super super young, although Andrew Garfield was young when it happened to him, but like they just see this new Spider-Man. They're like, okay, we've gone through it. We need to help him push through this and not go follow the path that we did.
Exactly. Very well done. I'm sad that Marissa Tomei won't be in it anymore because I love her.
Unless she gets pulled from a different universe, but I doubt it. I doubt that.
But I thought it was really well done.
And the Avengers line was fucking great. Because each Spider-Man is used, except for Tom Holland, the other two Spider-Mans are used to fighting alone. They never fought with a team. So Tom Holland's like, no, we got to fight as a team. We got to do this together. He's like, I have an idea how this works. Like, I was with the Avengers, and you see Tobey Maguire's like, the Avengers? And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's awesome. What is that?
What is that? Is that like a band or something?
Which is great because, and in the comics, he was with the Avengers.
Sure.
But these two solo guys never were. And
they never teamed up with anyone. I also like when he's like, yeah, I fought the craziest feeling I ever fought was this like gooey black alien this one time. He's like, oh, I fought an alien too in outer space. He's like, oh, in outer space? And Andrew Garfield's like, I never fought an alien. I just fought a guy in a mechanical rhino suit.
I'm such a loser.
He's like, no, you're amazing. Yeah. So good.
Because he was the amazing
Spider-Man. Get it?
I also really enjoy that he says, hey, I love you guys. And then the other two,
thank you.
Thanks. Didn't tell him back. Yeah. So sad.
So let's talk about Andrew Garfield for a minute. Because this movie, I feel like Tobey Maguire had his day in the sun and he had his 3 movies. The third movie was kind of shitty, but overall he had his run as Spider-Man. I feel like Andrew Garfield really, his movies were just poorly made. And I never really had a problem with him as Spider-Man. Like I didn't like him as Peter Parker as much, but he wasn't the problem with those movies.
No, and
those movies were poorly written.
I would say in the suit and his design, he looked the most like the Spider-Man in the comics, and he probably had the best look as Spider-Man.
Right.
I also did not enjoy his Peter Parker, but I don't think that was his fault. I think it was bad writing.
Right.
Because in this movie, he was more like the Peter Parker we know in the comics, where he did seem dorky. He did seem like he wanted people's approval.
Right. And it like he stole the show when all the 3 Peters were together. Like first when they pull him in initially, and they're like, wait, you're not Spider-Man. He's like, yes, I am. He's like, well, prove it. And he just jumps up and sticks to the ceiling. He's like, nah, that's not enough. Crawl around and stuff. He's like, you serious?
Yeah.
So he's got and then the little Filipino grandma's like, can you get the spider web?
That was fucking amazing. Because I turned to Cody and was like, that's exactly what a Filipino grandma would. Yeah. Like, if she saw that, she'd be like, look, since you're up there.
Yeah. So what's funny is I ran into our buddy Antonio at the parking garage after the movie, and he was like, it was really nice. He was like, this is the first time I've really seen like my heritage displayed on screen like that before, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was like she had the vinegar on the table, and the table's like covered in tablecloth, but then covered in plastic on top of it, just like his grandma would have it. And it was like it was just something about that was just so perfect.
I'm wondering if Ned, the actor, was just like, nah, this is not accurate.
This isn't that. Even the house looked like a Filipino grandma's, house with all the old picture frames and stuff like that. Yeah, that was hilarious. But I feel like this movie really redeemed Andrew Garfield in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And it really gave his Spider-Man the closure it deserved from the last movie.
Absolutely. There's already a Twitter campaign to get him a new movie.
Yeah.
Which after seeing this, I wouldn't mind as long as
Marvel made it.
Yeah, just let Marvel do it.
Sony has mishandled a lot of things, and I'm worried about Morbius. I don't think Morbius is going to be any good.
Oh, I won't get into it too much, but I like the way Morbius looks when he's full human vampire.
Yeah.
I don't like that can switch from human to living vampire.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
And then at the end, we do see up in the rift above the Statue of Liberty, when Doctor Strange is trying to keep all the rifts closed, we do see some shadows.
I thought I had seen Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven, yeah. I looked up some screenshots of it, and I think it is Kraven.
Okay.
It looks like him. He's got kind of the bulky shoulders, like the lion pelt or whatever, and a spear.
I was hoping...
There's also a scorpion in there, and then a rhino as well.
Well, they have the scorpion, the character in the MCU.
Yeah, he meets Vulture at the raft or whatever. Yeah, that guy. So
I was hoping to see Madam Web, and maybe she was there and I missed it, but Madam Web would be fucking dope.
I know. I want Madam Web to happen. Let's talk about post-credit scenes. There are two. There's really one, and then there's a trailer or a teaser trailer. Because the one, we see Venom, who's in this universe, and
which we saw that at the end of the Venom movie,
right? And they explain it in the end of the Venom movie that the Venom symbiote has a hive mind collective across all universes. So it kind of explains how he knows who Spider-Man is and why he would get sucked in.
Right.
But then
we see
him get sucked back out, but the little blob of symbiote goo is still on the bar that he was drinking.
Which I don't know if it was the Caribbeans or if it was somewhere else, but
yeah,
it's going to be interesting how it's going to make it from there to New York.
Right, exactly. See. But talking about us calling things and having good ideas for movies. Here's my plan for how the symbiote gets on Peter. Right, getting from Mexico or the Caribbean or wherever. I don't know how exactly that's going to happen. They can make it happen with, hops on someone's...
Flash is going to be on vacation with his family. It's going to get on Flash.
Yeah.
Boom.
That makes sense. I mean, that could happen. It could find its way somehow back to him. But, Peter, at the end of this, we see that he is no longer wearing any of his Stark suits.
Nope.
He has made his own Spider-Man suit.
Because Happy doesn't know Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
No one knows who Peter Parker is. Like, it's also strange that no one knows who he is. Like, he doesn't have does he have a birth certificate still? We see him have...
No. It's no one... People do not know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And anyone who knew that just doesn't know that anymore.
Yeah, but they also don't know Peter Parker because Happy doesn't know Peter Parker. MJ doesn't know Peter Parker. Ned doesn't know Peter Parker.
But it's because of the connection. I feel it's because of the connection of him to Spider-Man. I think if anyone who didn't know... which the whole world knows. You're right. The whole world knew.
Yeah,
just caught myself.
So if there's one guy who he's like the cool friend who's not on social media and doesn't really watch the news, he just kind of sits at home.
Hey, what's up, Peter?
Hey, what up, Peter? You know who I am?
It's just like, why wouldn't I know you?
Why would I know you?
Haven't
seen you in a while. So what's up?
So this is the part where I loved it, and I loved this movie for this particular thing.
Hold on, I didn't finish my my movie plot.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so. Now he doesn't have access to any of his Stark abilities. He doesn't have anyone who he can rely on for help, right? He's 100% by himself. So he's going to start feeling underpowered. He's going to go up against whoever the bad guy is in this new movie, and maybe he gets his ass kicked the first time. So he's feeling like, he's by himself. He's depressed. He's angry that he doesn't, that Aunt May is dead, that he doesn't have any friends, that his life is shitty. It's the perfect combination of like bad emotions for the symbiote to latch onto.
Absolutely.
And so the symbiote gets on him, black suit, gives him the power boost where he feels like he's Spider-Man again. But then, the rest of the movie happens where he finds out that it's turning him into a bad person.
Oh, yeah. Like he's powered up. He's hitting people hard. He goes too far. Yeah. Maybe breaks someone's spine, and that gets him to go like, shit, I'm doing too much. Yeah. And then we're going to get the dance,
Oh. I hope so.
I don't know if they'll do it. It'd be fucking hilarious if they did it.
Yeah.
But to add on to what you're saying, it could lead to Secret Wars, because in Secret Wars he does have the
black suit.
But who knows? Yeah.
See what happens. It'd be interesting how they handle that.
But when I interrupted you, what I loved about the end of this movie, and so I loved Tom Holland, and I was happy that Spider-Man was not back, but in the MCU.
Yes.
He was with the Avengers. I did not like that Tony Stark was giving him all these suits, had this stuff, because that's not how Spider-Man started off. I was like, okay, he gets that later on.
Right, but he had started off in the MCU with too many advantages and too many resources.
Yeah. And now what I love is that it kind of reset it back to Spider-Man in the comics. He's fucking alone. He doesn't have any help. He's broke. He made his suit from like just shitty material.
Yeah.
And he's not going to have any help from Happy or Stark Technology.
Yeah.
Which is how he is. He's now he went from being an Avenger and like helping the entire universe at this at Avengers, whereas now he's going to be the neighborhood Spider.
Right.
So that to me was super cool. So it's like they started off at least ahead, but they went full circle back to the beginning. So I fucking love that. So
I like it too. I'm interested to see where they go with it, from here. And, I think that it is kind of nice to get that Peter Parker. Plus we have the tragic, because he never really, he mentioned his Uncle Ben once maybe in the movie, but they don't say what happened to him or anything like that, or that inspired him to be Spider-Man. But we get the definitive tragic moment in Peter Parker's life when Aunt May dies. With great power, there must also come great responsibility. And, we have that definitive moment in his life.
Yeah, and in the comics, he goes through a lot of tragic shit. He's the guy who, like, a lot of terrible shit happens to him.
That's why his secret identity is so important to him, because, like, for the longest time, MJ doesn't know, who he is. And so he's trying to have a normal life and be Spider-Man as well, and keep her separate and keep her safe. Same thing with Aunt May. And it's constantly leading to conflict. He can't hold a steady job. He's, that's why he does the freelance photography for the Daily Bugle,
Which now they could do, although now it'd be curious. Well, I guess J. Jonah Jameson's not going to know who he is, so he could work for him, taking pictures of himself, which could be cool. I also love the fact that they made him Alex Jones.
Oh,
that was fucking
selling
great.
supplements.
Selling fucking supplements. That was
so good. I loved it.
I'm surprised Alex Jones doesn't come out and trying to sue, like, they're fucking stole my character.
They put cameras in my house, turned all the frogs gay.
Turned all the spiders gay.
So let's talk briefly about the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness teaser that we saw at the end.
Which is something I called. Oh, shit. For anyone who hasn't seen the trailer, which you can watch now, they showed an evil Doctor Strange, which what I said was going to fucking happen is I feel like the Doctor Strange Supreme from What If is going to be in the actual universe. And it wasn't confirmed, but to me, in my heart, it was confirmed that he's going to be Mephisto.
Yeah. I mean, I still think that's a very plausible thing. We also see Shumagoroth, the big starfish dude with the eyeball.
I love that they brought back. You got Baron.
Yes.
He's usually one of the main villains to Doctor Strange.
Black guy from the first movie.
Yeah.
The guy who's always like a scary, evil British dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That dude.
Oh my god.
He was in Serenity.
Doctor Strange is like my second favorite superhero, and I can't remember his fucking main villain's name. Anyway,
it's like Zomo or something.
No, you're thinking Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo. Yeah. Oh yeah.
No,
he's awesome.
But I feel like he is boss something. It's gonna come later when we're not.
Is it Mordo?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But it was a great callback where he was saying that what Doctor Strange is doing in the first movie is bad, and that he's, we're not following what we should be following, our own rules, and that you're a villain, and it was a perfect recall to now.
Mordo, yeah. Chiwetel Ejiofor, that's his name.
But for him, he's like, I was right. You were a villain. You are the bad guy, and then it was a different Doctor Strange from a parallel universe.
Right.
But it looks like,
and he's teaming up with Wanda.
Wanda's coming in.
Scarlet Witch action.
Super powered, or I guess regular powered in the comics, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's going to be one of those reluctant, helping out each other. But
sure.
There's a lot of potential for smashing more universes together.
Right.
I mean, we saw this in
little Blade action. Blade would be sick.
Blade would be great. Maybe even a little X-Men. Who knows? Fantastic Four.
X-Men, Fantastic Four.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be a great way of introducing these characters.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what happens, and we only got to wait till May for that one, so 5 months.
Wasn't it March?
It was March originally, but it got pushed back recently. Yep.
Fucking Omicron.
Let us know what you guys. Obviously, the Omicron isn't affecting things because Spider-Man has broken all other opening weekends pre-COVID.
It didn't affect, this.
Yeah, So as long as they make a good enough movie, people will go see it.
I also want to say thank you to the theater we watched it in, because people were loud in the beginning, but not at all during the movie. It was probably the best crowd I've seen a movie in a long time. Like, in a long, long time. So
Right.
how you guys acted, everyone else act that way. Talk all the fuck you want during the previews or before the
but
movie
when
starts.
the movie starts, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Well, let us know what you guys thought of Spider-Man No Way Home. Did it meet all your expectations, or did you have some problems with it? Should Doctor Strange have been a little bit more responsible and asked maybe one question before he changed the entire universe? That was really my only issue with it. Let us know down in the comments. We do appreciate those. Like and subscribe while you're down there. It's free, and it really does help us out. And what really helps us out, but isn't free, is becoming one of our patrons. Go to patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. Become a patron today. We do appreciate those. There's some cool perks on there. And of course, thank you to all the patrons who already support us every month. We appreciate you. And we're going to web sling your fucking names up to the ceiling.
Whip, swip, swip.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
You know, that reads well in the comics. It's hard to say it.
Tweet, tweet,
Yeah,
tweet, 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 tweet.
swip.
I think it's just supposed to be a sound without any actual voice behind it.
There we go. That sounds better.
Yeah, pretty
Yes.
good.
That
love it.
one's one of my favorites, but also when Nightcrawler banishes.
Bamf.
Bamf. Yeah.
Bamf, bamf, bamf.
And Wolverine's was
Snicked,
yes.
snicked.
Next
Next
episode.
next
is just
episode,
pure-
comic book sound.
That's it. That's all it's gonna fucking be.
Oh god. Well, thanks, Christian, for first of all getting those tickets to go see Spider-Man. That was really fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad we saw it together. I'm glad it was as awesome as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we gotta go watch it 4D.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's fucking do it. And thank you guys for listening every week. We hope you have a happy New Year this coming weekend. And we hope you had a happy holidays. And remember, all the nerds out there, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you and good night.